The ocean was calm when they boarded the ship, unnaturally calm, the kind of silence that feels staged, as if the sea itself is holding its breath. 7 people stepped onto the cargo vessel Ardent Vale just before sunset, hired for a routine crossing through open waters, each carrying their own reasons for being there: money, desperation, curiosity, or escape. They were strangers, exchanging polite smiles and awkward introductions, unaware that this ship had sailed many times before, with different faces and the same ending. As the engines started and the shoreline faded into darkness, the temperature dropped suddenly, not from weather, but from something deeper, something wrong. The sky thickened with clouds far too fast, swallowing the moon, and within hours every navigation system failed, radar blank, compass spinning endlessly like it had lost its sense of direction. That was when they heard the first sound, a slow, hollow knock echoing from beneath the floor, not random, not violent, but patient, as if something inside the ship was asking permission to be acknowledged. The captain tried to calm everyone, blaming pressure shifts and metal fatigue, but fear does not need permission to grow, and when the lights flickered and died completely, panic took over. Emergency lamps cast long, distorted shadows across the corridors, making the ship feel unfamiliar, stretched, alive. They found the first body near the engine room, one of the crew members, his skin pale and cold, eyes frozen wide in terror. No wounds, no blood, only a deep, hand-shaped mark pressed into his chest, as if something had reached through him and taken what it needed. From that moment, survival became the only thought. They locked doors, rationed food, took turns staying awake, listening to the walls breathe, to footsteps that echoed when no one was moving. The ship began to change. Hallways felt longer. Staircases led to decks that should not exist. Rooms rearranged themselves when no one was watching. And the ocean outside remained motionless, a black surface reflecting nothing, offering no horizon, no escape. The ghost did not attack immediately. It studied them. It whispered their names in voices stolen from their memories, imitated loved ones, replayed regrets, lured them into isolated corners of the ship where lights dimmed and air grew heavy. One by one they disappeared, a scream cut short in the night, a door found locked from the inside with no one there, a body discovered seated calmly at the dining table, as if waiting for a meal that would never come. With every death, the ship seemed stronger, steadier, as if feeding on fear itself, refusing to sink, refusing to break, holding them hostage between sky and sea. When the captain attempted to destroy the ship by flooding the lower decks, the valves jammed, metal screaming as though the vessel itself rejected the idea of release. And that was when they realized this was no accident, no haunting born of chance, but something bound to the ship long before any of them arrived. By the final night, only one remained, hiding deep below deck with a flickering emergency light and shaking hands, surrounded by abandoned belongings, shoes, jackets, photographs, proof that others had existed only hours before. The silence was worse now, heavy, deliberate, broken only by slow footsteps approaching openly, no longer hiding, no longer whispering. When the ghost finally appeared, it did not look monstrous. It looked familiar, layered with the faces of every victim who had died on that ship before. Eyes dark like the ocean at night, voice calm, almost gentle. It explained without anger that the ship was not lost at sea, but trapped outside time, cursed to sail endlessly, feeding on fear, memory, and the illusion of survival. Every passenger believed they could escape, that they could be the exception, But survival was never the purpose. Understanding was, and understanding always came too late. The final moments were quiet. No scream, no struggle, just the overwhelming realization that the ocean had never been empty, that it had always been watching, waiting. Days later, the ardent veil was spotted drifting near a major shipping route, intact, engines humming softly, no distress call ever sent, no crew aboard, no sign of violence. Rescue teams who attempted to board reported knocking sounds from beneath the hull, whispers calling their names, corridors that shifted when they turned away, and a crushing sense that the ship was not abandoned, but occupied. Official reports labeled it an unresolved maritime mystery, but sailors speak of it differently. A ship that appears only when it is hungry, a journey that cannot be completed, a warning carried across the ocean. And if you ever find yourself at sea and hear slow, deliberate knocking beneath your feet, do not answer, because some ships do not carry passengers, they collect them. And some stories are not meant to end, only to drift forever, waiting for the next voice to echo inside their walls.
Please like and subscribe Horror channel.